Hi, my name is Jason Kasvitz, and I want to thank you for joining us on the way. Today I'd like to talk about do not love the world. And I'd like to begin in 1 John chapter 2, verse 15 through 17, and I'm coming from the NIV. It says, "Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in them. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life comes from the Father, does not come from the Father, but from the world. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever." In this passage, John is writing to Christians and warning them not to fall in love with the world. We sometimes associate things in the world, may it be places that we go, things that we do, with worldliness. But you could see here he's talking about the lust of the flesh, which is basically satisfying our physical desires. It also talks about the lust of the eyes, which is trying to satisfy our goals and our pursuits and the things that we want to do, and even materialism. And here you could see it's even talking about the pride of life, which is talking about more or less like status. And we're always trying to compete. We're trying to do things. But a lot of it, if you see, and as you listen to this, it has to do with a lot of you and the things that you want to do. But it's interesting because I always say it's kind of like when you're pursuing these things, it's kind of like a dog that just doesn't catch his tail. Keeps on chasing after his tail and he won't catch it. Because regardless, you'll never be satisfied. Even when you attain the things that you attain, you're still not satisfied. There's still a void. And that void can only be answered by Jesus. And here, in our Christian walk, John is warning us against these things. He's imploring us to be humble. Here you could see that these things do not come from God. They're actually contradictory to the things of God. We must understand that the things of the world are temporary. And what God is offering is eternal. John is saying, do not love the world because the world is full of sin and it opposes God. We must be careful of allowing our fleshly desires or our carnality in trusting in the things of the world. We must understand that Christ needs to be the center of our life. And we must not be dependent on the things of this world. In the passage, it talks about the world. And the word the world in the Bible has several meanings. The physical world, creation of the earth by God, or the people in the world, the spiritual realm, and or the world system that is against God. We must understand that this world system is under control of the enemy. So we can't love the world system in the world and love God. So my point is, why do we love a world which is cursed and sinful and opposes God? A world that is under control of the enemy. A world system where many believe that government can fix all the ills of society. A system that relies on man. A system that trusts and believes in man, which is contradictory to what the Word says. Who we need to rely on. Who we need to put our faith in. The passage goes on to say that if we love the world, we can't love God because the things of this world are against God. The answer is Jesus. We must keep our eyes on Jesus. And in Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, it clearly says here, but first and most importantly, seek, aim at, strive after His kingdom and His righteousness, His way of doing and being right, the attitude and character of God. And in all these things will be given unto you. So what we have to truly understand is that we have to seek first His kingdom. The things of this world are temporary. We can't take anything with us. It's interesting, when you die, there's an old saying, you come in the world naked and you leave the same way. You can't take any of your possessions. You can't take anything. My mother would always say that we put so much into the world, and what we get out of it is death. But if we believe in Jesus, we have life. And He's offering us eternal life. So the things of the world truly don't matter. So I implore you today to make the decision to choose Jesus, to choose life, to choose eternal life. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to share with you this message.